Sahrea Jackson, the moderator.
My name is Nayem.
My name is Argu.
My name is Minah Harris.
Welcome to the Sam's podcast, and today we are talking about the home. We're talking about home, and to start this off, Nayem, what things remind you of home, or what keywords remind you of home?
So some things that remind me of home are whenever I play a certain video game, because I play video games at home. I also listen to music at home, so whenever I hear a certain song, it reminds me of when I relax in my bed. Some key things that remind me of home are place of origin and childhood.
Like, what do you mean, place of origin?
Like the word place of origin reminds me of my home, like origin.
Origin. All right. Argu?
Some things that remind me of home is friends, family, food that I like, street views, and nature. For me, without these things, I cannot remind myself home. These people or places are usually welcoming to me, and without these, I cannot see anything else that reminds me of home.
And now, what reminds you of home, Minah?
What reminds me of home is the weather, the food, the music. Yeah.
Like weather, like as in...
Like the Michigan weather, you never know what you're going to expect. Some days it's sunny, some days it's cold. Sometimes it snows, next day it rains,
All right. Do you consider where you are now home? Why or why not? Nayem?
Yeah, I would consider where I am now home because I'm the most comfortable and relaxed when I'm here. I'm surrounded by my family members and pets who make me feel good and don't cause me any discomfort.
All right. And Arju?
Okay, so I consider the place that I am in home because I am protected and not harmed by anything. And this is the place where I can be in my own area without any distractions. Usually in any other places, I would not be in my own area where I can think or I can talk to anyone I want to. In a place that I can consider home, nothing can be compared to where I'm living in.
And all right, so what do you consider as distractions that you were mentioning?
So distractions that I mentioned was like, like fighting, bad people, those type of stuff. Negativity, basically.
Negativity. All right. And how about you, Minah? What do you consider home or key concepts or ideas?
Well, where I am now, I do consider it home because it's like where I grew up, which is Detroit, Michigan. And everyone I know is here. I feel comfortable. I can be myself. I can create. I can relate to others. And all the vibes are just here.
So as a whole, you just consider Detroit or like the west side, east side, downtown, downriver? Like, what do you consider as home? Just Detroit as a whole?
Like, Detroit as a whole is home to me. But my main home is the east side of Detroit.
East side.
But I mess with all areas of Detroit, I mess with the city. I mess with Michigan,
All right. So, Nayem, does religion, culture, ethnic background, or skin color have something to do with considering your home? If so, why?
So growing up, I was mainly surrounded by brown and black skinned people, so I'm used to seeing them and it reminds me of places like school and it reminds me of my friends. So seeing a white person isn't common in my neighborhood, but I still make sure to treat them the same as anyone else. My religion also reminds me of my home because my parents are very religious. This reminds me of the poem The Seafarer because the author was also religious and preached praying to God just like my parents.
All right. And Arju, what about you?
So for me, to me, culture is not something that I consider as part of my home. I think without a culture would be better in some ways than to follow culture. It's not important to what I think is home. In my place that I consider home, I feel like without religion, I would not be able to accomplish the things that I wanted to do so far. Without religion, I do not think I would ever be satisfied being at home and think or wonder what I do or did. I would not feel like it was home if I were to compare it to from history of Jamaica, because the Jamaican people were never able to follow the religion or culture, and they were controlled by the British people.
And if you don't mind me asking, what is your religion?
The religion that I follow is Islam.
Islam. Oh, and okay, Minah, does religion, culture, ethnic background, or skin color have something to do with considering your home? If so, why?
I feel like all those things do play a role in what someone may consider home. But like I said, it can be to a certain extent because every country is different. You know, everyone has their own people and their culture and rules and things that they live by. Like, for example, I'm a young Black woman in the United States, mainly from Detroit, Michigan. So I'm used to seeing brown-skinned people, you know, rather than white people all the time.
Right.
And like, for example, Andrea Levy in her story, you know, Back to My Own Country, she talked about how her family moved from their home of Jamaica to go to London because they weren't comfortable where they were. So she was raised in London. She was comfortable. But as she got older and in school, there was a situation where they were separated based on the color of their skin. And she was used to being around the white kids in school. So she separated herself with them. But that made her feel out of place because they were looking at her a certain type of way. Like, why are you over here with us? You know, you're not white. You're Black. So that made her feel uncomfortable. She didn't feel the same way about her home country anymore.
All right. I'm liking an example. All right. To bring this all in, Nayem, how does one define home?
So I define home as a place where you can just relax and not care about what anyone thinks of you. You can rest and not be bothered and just be yourself. You're also surrounded by the people you love and who love you back. In Dover Beach, the author describes a calm moon shining over the ocean, and their words just make you feel relaxed. I get the same relaxing feeling when I'm in my house.
Aww, that's nice. And Argu, how does one define home?
One would define home as a place where they can do whatever they want without anybody bothering them. They have the things necessary to where they can live and not be able to harm and not have and not do any harm towards others. They are not mistreated and they are not controlled by anyone in any way. One would not define home comparing to the story from history of Jamaica, because the French took over or took control of Jamaica and uses people to their advantage to have as much loot and resources that were going to be valuable and beneficial to help them grow their market.
All right. And Minah, how does one define home?
I feel like home is basically where you can be comfortable in your own skin, comfortable with your neighborhood, where you live. You know, you just feel safe, you feel good. It's just you're comfortable. You can be yourself.
You're comfortable? So you're comfortable in Detroit East Side?
Yes, I am. even though there is a lot of, criminal activity.
Yeah, I know.
Criminal activity and a lot of bad things going in Detroit in all parts, the West included. But yeah, I feel safe, nothing's never bad really happened. Like on my street, I'll say.
Oh, your street.
In the area, yes.
Your
but
area. All right.
But the street that I live on, it's pretty cool. It's pretty good, But Detroit as a whole does need improvement. Hopefully, the city will get it together. It's not the safest city,
but you love it and you feel safe.
But this is where I'm from, and I'm proud of it.
Okay. All right. To wrap this all up, everyone has their own idea, belief, and concept of home and opinion of individuality in their own home, and their safeness and comfortableness in their own home and how they feel there. And thank you for tuning in to the Sounds Podcast.